And then here's the final one, which leads into the feature-length, feels like feature-length monologue.
Oh, Christ.
And finally, new rule, as this Sunday's Academy Awards show is the 10th anniversary of the Oscars So White campaign, someone must wear a ribbon that says, "We won."
So there's more to I'm not done with the rule, let alone the monologue, but I will say it's like, so you hear that and his tone, like if you read that, you'd be like, oh, this is going to be a thing, an actual celebration of, you know, the positive changes the entertainment industry broadly and the Academy of Motion Pictures specifically have made over the last 10 years. Great. But his tone is like, someone needs to wear a ribbon saying, "We won." It's like, okay, well, clearly you're an aggrieved white man about the fact that we won, even though that's not going to be his framing, that's going to be his tone, but there is more to this.
Just as a way to remind progressives, hey, you're progressive. Progress is what you're selling. Take the win. The Oscars are no longer a long, boring show full of white people. It's a long, boring show full of all people.
Josh, I'm going to ask you, when he's like, progressives acknowledge progress, would it surprise you if I told you I've heard him say that probably 24 times over the last 2 years?
No, that wouldn't surprise me at all. At all.
The man has 4 things he wants to cram into a conversation, and like he's got nothing else to talk about. Also, what's crazy about this, I realize this halfway through. We'll get to the journey, quote unquote, this goes on. He does not give a single example of what he is getting mad about here. He doesn't have one example of someone in Hollywood being like, we haven't changed. It's not any better. It's still so racist. Not one example. Nowhere.
Well, I think what's going on here is that this is him getting angry at the Hollywood establishment for not giving him as much attention or credit as he believes that he deserves.
Yes.
And he believes that this lack of credit and attention is the result of woke, essentially.
Yes, he literally said that you can tell woke is going away because the Golden Globes nominated him for Best Comedy Special.
Oh, there you go.
For his last special. He's literally said that. The winner of that Golden Globe was Ricky Gervais with genuinely one of the worst stand-up comedy specials that's ever been made. I watched it for the podcast. It's an atrocious piece of shit. They just nominated the 5 most famous people who put out it was the guy Brett whatever from Ted Lasso, Bill Maher, Ricky Gervais, Sarah Silverman, Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay. I love to go back every once in a while and just watch Gary Shandling just completely fucking mogging him.
Yes.
It's so good.
So here he is listing a bunch of the POCs who've won acting Oscars. And the way these names, man, fucking rehearse.
Acting Oscars have gone to Will Smith, Michelle Yeoh, Zoe Saldana, Davine Joy Randolph.
He starts fucking up at Divine Joy Randolph.
Young Yoon. I apologize already for some of these names. Regina King, Viola Davis, Kiku Wan, Daniel Kaluuya.
These are not difficult names.
Mahershala Ali, twice.
Like Mahershala Ali. All of these, it's like you get one. Just go through it once, man. Do one run through of it. But here he is. He is finally getting to his thesis here.
Hollywood isn't a secret cabal of racists. It's a secret cabal of people terrified of looking like racists. And I'm just tired of, no matter how much progress is made, social justice warriors feeling the need to gaslight us as if none of it had happened.
Social justice warriors in the year of our Lord 2026.
As if none of what had happened.
Happened?
But that's what he says. As if none of it had happened. As if none of what had happened.
The progress we've made.
The
Academy has made. But he also keeps going. He uses the Academy, and then he's just talking about Hollywood. So he starts off by saying the Oscar, he talks about the Oscars, essentially diversity mandate. And would it surprise you if I told you he essentially lies about what it is? He completely misrepresents it. He says this is what motion pictures they have to have. They have to focus, have to have 30% underrepresented cast. They have to tell a story from a marginalized community. What it is there are 4 possible standards. You have to meet the parameters of 2 of the 4. And within those 4 parameters, each of those, except the last one, have at least 2 or 3 individual parameters within them. And all you have to do is hit one of those. And the way to hit one of those...
You're telling me Bill Maher's being disingenuous? Say that so.
It's like, so here's one. At least 2 of the following creative leadership positions and department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, set decorator, sound, VFX supervisor, writer, are from an underrepresented group, and at least one of these positions must belong to someone from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Underrepresented groups may include women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ, people with cognitive or physical disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. So one of the ways you can half qualify for this is by having a hair or makeup person who is a woman or gay.
That's so good.
Like, come on. Like, and also it's just to be considered for Best Picture.
Sure.
That's all he's talking about. And then he mentions a bunch of movies. He's like, you couldn't make them anymore and have them qualify for Best Picture. And it's like, okay, so if that's true, even with all of these things, then thank God the Academy instituted these qualifiers, because like, it's a fucking disgrace if an entire crew and all your department heads are fucking
all
white.
white men. Every single one of them.
That's fucking crazy. And that, I would go so far as to truly be woke and say that is not a safe set for women or people of color working under those people. It's
Correct.
just not. Here's his example. So I'm going to try not to keep you too long, but I have a lot of small technical issues that in my mind add up to making this an absolute disgrace.
Apollo 13 was about a bunch of white people because white people have done some stuff.
Nobody's ever said white people haven't done anything that contributed to society. The furthest they'll go is they'll be like, but it just doesn't make up for all the bad stuff they've done.
But somehow, without a production code, Hidden Figures got made and
Okay, great. That's one example.
completed the historical record about how we got to the moon. Sinners this year is up.
Sinners this year, the code was in effect by 2024. They announced it, I think, in 2021, and they were like, by 2024, we will have instituted this. So they gave the industry 4 years to prepare for this. And one of the only examples he can come up with, Sinners, which I must repeat, came out last year, after the code came in.
For more Oscars than any movie ever. Sinners is good. It doesn't need affirmative action.
It probably did, because I would argue that if these campaigns and movements had not started, Ryan Coogler would not be allowed to make the movies he made.
It's also very fucking condescending to the creatives, I think, too.
Yes.
Right? That's what really gets me.
It's such a good movie, guys.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's so good, except for because Ryan Coogler just got the job because of woke, which I don't know. I do think that the whole fucking Oscars so white or whatever thing, it does seem that it has led to some amount of material change, but I also think that this is one of the situations where Maher is intentionally or otherwise conflating a couple things.
Yes.
Which is...
He does it so much it has to be on purpose.
I think it is. The reason that there are these concerns isn't like, oh, well, we want to see, like, we want to make sure that the white people aren't getting so represented. That's not what it is. It's, we have lots and lots of people who historically have been excluded from jobs in this industry. This is a material conditions problem. This is an issue of systemic discrimination within a given field. And the Academy is taking baby fucking steps to attempt to ameliorate this, not because they want to, but because their hand was forced. And it's only these sort of fits and starts that eventually can lead to durable, lasting change.
Also, 2025 saw huge backslides in representation numbers in Hollywood. Here's another
Neither
movie.
did Parasite or...
Parasite. Parasite is not a Hollywood movie. It was made in South Korea.
Yeah, who distributed that? Was that Sony? I can't remember.
No, Neon.
Oh.
Yeah. That was Neon. That's what made Neon so crazed
Okay.
now, yeah.
Shape of Water.
The Shape of What, like, and he even says, he's like, she has sex with a fish. What's more diverse than that? It's like, shut up. Like, God, give me a fucking break. So he moves on from this to, he just starts complaining about movies that have won Oscars. He spends so long doing this, just complaining about Oscar winners. So, okay, right. Yeah, so I have the lead up for this.
The whole thing is so Hollywood. A room full of know-nothings who call
know-nothings.
Nothings. Unlike me, I'm smart.
I tape my show at one of the premier studios in Hollywood.
themselves the Academy, making
He's had dinner with Jeff Bezos, one of the biggest players in Hollywood, or I guess the founder of the biggest players in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's his ripcord when Warner cancels his fucking show as he goes on Amazon instead, you know?
everyone tremble before their judgment, even though their judgment is often terrible and fails the test of time. Maybe the hashtag should be Oscar so wrong.
Whoa.
Brilliant.
Whoa. Can you say that? I don't know if you can say that.
I cut out the 10 seconds of applause he gets from the audience for that stupid shit.
Brave, groundbreaking, intellectually honest films constantly lose.
So he's got Citizen Kane, It's a Wonderful Life, 12 Angry Men, Singing in the Rain, Dr. Strangelove, Raging Bull, and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, did you know that the best movie doesn't always win the Oscar for Best Picture? It's true.
To much more forgettable, trifling, sentimental stuff.
So some of his examples, one, he says, Saving Private Ryan lost to Shakespeare in Love. It's like, I'm sorry, if you're going to try to tell me Saving Private Ryan is not sentimental, give me a That movie hops on a schmaltz train and rides it all the way downhill to where Private Ryan ages in real time, kneels on a grave and weeps and goes, please tell me I was worth it, or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, it's just different forms of sentimentality, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Come on.
There are some, okay, so some of the ones he does, he goes, Sunset Boulevard lost to All About Eve. And it's like, both of those movies are absolute classics. Like, my wife loves that period of Hollywood, and she was like, yeah, I would say Sunset Boulevard is better than All About Eve, but like, it feels like this year where it's like, look, yeah, either of those movies win Best Picture. I'm not like, this is wrong.
Yeah, he talks about Citizen Kane losing to How Green Was My Valley, and he's like, who's ever heard of How Green Was My Valley? It's like, you motherfucker. Like, everybody who loves movies knows that How Green Was My Valley was the movie that beat Citizen Kane, and it's also in the National Film Registry. Like, it is also a good film
so here's
on
the
its
thing.
own merits.
He doesn't love movies. He mentions all the great directors who never won Oscars. He mentions Fellini and Kurosawa. When Woody Allen was on Club Random, Bill Maher was like, I don't watch that artsy-fartsy shit like Kurosawa. Said that, he's like, I know you like that, Woody. I don't like that stuff. So he has absolutely never seen a movie from either Fellini or Kurosawa. Another one, he says Glory lost to Driving Miss Daisy. False. Glory was not nominated for Best Picture. That year, the three movies he could have gone with Born on the 4th of July, My Left Foot, or Dead Poets Society. Demonstrably the most iconic and memorable of all the movies nominated for Best Picture. Also, another movie that got snubbed for nominations, better than Glory, Do the Right Thing was that year.
Oh!
Like,
Yeah, but he's not going to say that because he's a fucking racist. That's the thing.
So here is the best one.
Do the Right Thing is so fucking good, by the way. I love that movie.
And it's like, Spike Lee talked about it at the time. He's like, what the fuck is this racist shit? Like,
yeah.
Everybody talked about how it was just, Glory is the kind of movie that would get, he picks the type of movie that the Academy would nominate for Best Picture, whereas Do the Right Thing is too challenging, especially for that period of time.
Yes.
This is the best one, though. This is the one to me that shows, this guy just hates gay people now. This one, I paused it and I was like, yes, this is everything I could have dreamed of. And I'll say the movie he lists that got snubbed, I do think is a great movie.
Munich lost to Crash.
So when I say the movie that lost to Crash for Best Picture, what movie do you think of? And is it Munich?
Brokeback Mountain. Like, famously.
Everybody. Literally every person would say Brokeback
Munich
Mountain.
was never in the fucking conversation.
No. Oh, another one he says too, another movie he lists as having never won Best Picture is Chicago was up. He's like, Chicago beat Gangs of New York. It's like,
Chicago is maybe the best movie musical ever made, along with like Cabaret.
Dude, Martin Scorsese is under I don't think anybody's under any impressions that that's a great movie, Gangs of New York. It's a fucking disaster. Like, Chicago deserved to win that year.
I mean, just on the strength of John C. Reilly's performance alone.
Yeah,
Like,
him
Jesus
and
Christ.
Catherine Zeta-Jones
Yes.
are just like, and then Shawshank Redemption lost to Forrest Gump, and it's like both those movies are stupid, man. Those
Yes,
are
correct.
both cable TV.
They're both fun, but like they're both bullshit. Let's be real.
So then he's talking about how they get it wrong so much. You mentioned you like internet culture. You might recognize this. This was something that was big on the internet. What he's going to be referencing here, and it seems you appreciate pop culture, right?
A little bit. I've done over 200 episodes of a podcast about it. Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So I think, you know what? We've been complaining. I think you're really, really going to, I think this is going to be a joke you really like. And
Let's
think
hear it. Let's hear it.
I think you're going to think this is a lot of fun.
The Oscars should give out a new award, the Kanye West I'm Gonna Let You Finish Award.
Damn. Can he say that?
So notoriously the Academy Awards all have the same framing, which is the best blank. But here, so he does that bit, the whole crowd laughs, and then he follows it up with this.
Yeah, just put Kanye in the audience every year to jump up and say, I'm gonna let you finish, but Shawshank is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, man, we got the joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's the joke.
I can't believe he felt the need to explain this. Oh God, I still have more clips. So he's.
You don't have to play all of them if you don't want.
I swear to God,
I'm here for it either way. But.
I swear to God, he's like, well, for the listener, you watch it, but the listener at home, who actually also can easily watch these. I swear to God, he just complains about movies that won the Oscars for minutes. So here he is. He singles out. He's like, and some people get awards to make up for the fact that they got snubbed for so many. So I'll tell you why this one, I'm like, this is too much.
Al Pacino in The Godfather, Godfather 2, Serpico, Scarface, Dog Day Afternoon. I could go on. Crickets. Then he plays a
Not crickets. He was nominated for all of those.
blind guy who screams hoo-ha and welcome to the winner's circle.
So I think that's too much because Bill Maher is fucking Al Pacino's ex-girlfriend. And like, I think this guy is a pathetic little worm almost all the time. But in that moment, I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, that's so psychological. That's so gross.
Not just his ex-girlfriend, the mother of his child, who he had when he was 82 years old.
That's fucked, man. What a worm.
He also says it's like honoring Michael Jordan for when he played baseball. Sir, that was over 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's again anachronistic, right?
So here he is. He's getting into some technical errors now that really bother me.
I mean, afflictions win. Oscar has been given to so many people with diseases, it should wear a hospital gown. I mean, blind, deaf, ALS.
So he's saying illnesses. Being blind and deaf are not illnesses.
Those are not illnesses. Those are disabilities. They're not illnesses.
Cerebral palsy, Alzheimer's, amputee. There's nothing.
Amputee.
Amputee, definitely not a disease.
Oh, man, I'm coming down with a bad case of leg cut off. And then he does it again. And this next one is even more egregious because everyone he's got pictured here, they all won the Academy Award. This is his next batch.
Nothing more automatic. Well, except if you're mentally challenged in some way.
So, one, famously, that is not true. One of the most famous jokes in any comedy, don't go full R word.
Yeah, right.
But also, so his list here, 3 of the people on it, Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade, Leonardo DiCaprio in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and Peter Sellers in Being There, none of them won the Academy Award. Also, Jack Nicholson and Russell Crowe from A Beautiful Mind, Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, they're mentally ill. They don't have a mental disability, which they should be on the illness list. Also, Jack Nicholson's character was faking it. The whole point of the movie is he doesn't have it. He's not crazy. This, as I said, the racism, the Islamophobia, I live in the world. All of these, it's difficult to get away from these things. I suppose in some ways I've become in ways I don't like, I have developed a thick skin to them, and I perhaps they should bother me more. This shit I cannot abide. It is so lazy and so egregious and so wrong in a bit that already does not have an underlying through line or premise or point. He's just complaining about the Academy Awards, and then he gets it fucking wrong on top of that. Like, somebody step in and do something.
Well, this is again.
Where's Lloyd Blankfein to advocate for a military intervention on Real Time with Bill Maher?
But also, where are your writers? This is the thing I keep coming back to. And really, I guess what it comes down to is that no writer's room who respects their boss would allow them to get away with something like this, right? It's indicative of the kind of work that they are comfortable with handing in. And whether they are just, skating by on the bare minimum or doing it intentionally to make him look stupid, it doesn't really matter. It just demonstrates that he has fully lost the trust of the people who literally put words into his mouth.
Yeah, I thought it was his editorial input, but like, you've also got to be. It's also you're right. You have to be right. It has to be a room filled with people who are like, "What's the point? What's the point of trying to stop this?
Why try?" Right, and that is something that happens in any job where you have just every time you try to do something, you get browbeaten into submission. Right, eventually you just give up on trying because what's the fucking point?
And then the last thing, this is another example. These are the last two clips. This is another example of what he's talking about that, once again, I just can't fucking believe it.
Or even, dare I say it, making themselves unbeautiful. Fake ugly nose, please. Do you even have to ask?
So he's showing a picture of four people. Bradley Cooper as and from The Maestro. I can't remember the guy's name. Leonard
Bernstein.
Yes,
Bernstein.
Yeah. Okay. The Iron Lady.
Meryl
Streep is Margaret Thatcher. Nicole Kidman in The Hours, and Steve Carell in God, that's a bad movie. Foxcatcher.
That's a crazy fucking nose they put on him too.
It's just so dour, that film. I think he loses control of his own tone and it gets away from him. It's just so bleak. 4 examples. 2 of them did not win the Academy Award. Steve Carell and Bradley Cooper did not win, man. Like, and then the last thing he says.
Oscar should have another new category this year. Best glue.
That category is called Best Makeup. Like, that category.
Is that the joke? Is that what the joke is there?
The joke is they should have a category Best Glue because they glue the fake noses on. And it's like, they do. They do, you stupid fuck. They have that fucking category. It's makeup, shithead. Maybe special effects if the nose is like crazy. But like, yeah, it exists. They do honor those people. It's funny too, because my friend Casey texted me, I think yesterday, and was like, I couldn't sleep on Friday and I was tired of watching ER, so I just put on Real Time. He's like, when you watch it, we got to talk about that last new rule. And like, I get it, because it's stupid. It's so poorly researched and informed. Yeah. I think it's really special. It's really magical.
Well,